It is week 1 of the 3 Rivers Challenge, and today I want to share with you what we plan to make from our pantry. And it is a snow week, and we have a really big chance of an actual ice storm. So my bulk meal prep, I could not come at a better time. But before we get started, if you're new to our channel, we are the Canny Couple. I'm Julia. Aaron's behind the camera. And we are a small homestead family in rural Virginia that work every single day to merge homesteading and frugality. And if you are new to our cooking videos, I am a bulk cooker. I don't cook small meals. I like to cook big meals, and we eat a lot of leftovers. I'll put them in the fridge and the freezer and pull them out as needed, and that's what we eat on. And I like to cook 1 time a week. That is my goal, my key. And I will tell you, it saved us a lot of money, and it saves me a lot of time. And I really don't have any complaints, do I?
No.
Nope, no complaints. Aaron doesn't really care, just as long as he's fed and the baby's fed. That's all we care about.
Yep.
So let's talk about our meal plan this week. This week, I'm keeping things really simple because we have a lot of snow that's coming in. It's already been snowing for how long? About 2 hours?
About 2 hours.
About 2 hours, and we have a chance of ice. Snow doesn't bother us as much as ice. In our area, we get a lot of really wet snow, so it becomes really difficult to kind of navigate, and we could be stuck for a while. And if we lose power, that makes it harder. So my meal plan this week is everything that's really easy to heat up and easy to cook fast. And what I'm going to make is my Mexican rice and beans onion and pot. I've made this before, but I'm making it a little bit different. And I'm also making it with a lot of home canned ingredients. So let's start with that first. So I've started with my Instant Pot. You see I've already got some sausage in here and my rice.
And that's canned sausage.
Canned sausage. And I'm going to do another one. So I did a thing. You know where they say, I did a thing. I'm going to take this juice and I'm just going to pour it in here. It's just flavor. It's just the liquid that the sausage was canned. It's just going to add more flavor to this. I tried canning sausage patties and that didn't work. That didn't work. And I need to get rid of these sausage patties. And this is a great meal to hide the sausage patties in. So that is why this is just really a good meal to hide those in. So I've already done 1 can in here. And we're going to do another one. And I've also got another jar of just straight fried sausage that I did. Just ground sausage. And we're going to add that to it as well, because we want to bulk up our protein, especially if Aaron has to get out and he has to shovel the driveway and things like that. I want to make sure our protein is bulked up. And I have to go out and do the chickens, make sure they're taken care of, in the wood, for the wood stove. It's just a lot of extra stuff. So this is coming together. Look at how soft this is. This is why we didn't like it. It's so soft. It's so soft as a patty. The texture just was so off-putting. I saw a post in one of my canning groups. They're like, it's amazing. My whole family loved it, and I can't wait to try hamburger patties. I was like, well, this would save me so much time. Let's try it. And I was like, well, let me do a small batch. I'm a small batch to try. Oh, God.
Awful.
It was so bad. It was so bad. We barely got it down. It was so bad.
It just ain't what you're used to.
It is not. It loses the texture you expect sausage to have. But it will work fine in this dish. So if you have some canned sausage patties and you're looking for a way to get rid of it, this is the dish to try, because you're going to bulk it up. So we're going to throw that in there. We're going to throw this ground fried sausage in there. You see, totally different texture. Totally different texture. Aaron couldn't believe me when I told him it was a different texture. We're going to give it a quick stir. We're going to take a jar of turkey broth. Now, don't yell at me. Any type of broth will do. Chicken broth, anything. This is home canned turkey broth that I made. All I'm looking for is the nutrients that I pulled out. You're not going to taste turkey. You're not. You can use chicken broth. You can use beef broth, whatever. I have turkey broth that I just did, so that's what we're using right now. We just want those nutrients that we pulled out of those bones. I'm going to pull a can of corn. Going to do 2 cans of black beans. Now, the reason I had to make this meal in particular, I've had a 3-year-old on repeat asking for one thing in particular every day.
Rice and beans.
Rice and beans. She actually tried to steal my beans. We got beans. They were on sale at the grocery store.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that short, you can definitely check that out, see what kind of deal we got on those.
That they were 88 cents a bag, and she said, "No, my beans." And she's like, in the car, she's saying, "Rice and beans, Mommy, you making rice and beans?" And so she loves rice and beans, and this is a great way to make them. And it's different than just plain Cajun rice and beans because it's more of like a Mexican spin to it. It's really good. So again, give it a good stir. Super simple meal. You can add more corn. If you like peppers, you can add peppers. You can add tomatoes to this. I used to add tomatoes to this, but I don't anymore. That is because I use this tomato powder here. And this tomato powder just adds a different flavor to it. It's so good. It's just so much better. We like it so much better, so that's the one I use. And I'm going to do 4 spoonfuls. And I did about 5 cups of rice. So this is really a build your own. It's going to be based off your family size. Where I'm making a really big meal for us right now, I'm doing this based off of how much, I'm basing this off how far I want this to go for my family.
And there's 3 of us.
And there's 3 of us. Possibly, you know, if I needed to feed another person, I could. I could stretch it further. I do big portions. I get in trouble for that sometimes. And I'm going to do 3 big spoonfuls of taco seasoning. This is homemade taco seasoning, cumin, chili powder, a little cayenne, a couple of other small things, some garlic, just some basics. It's worked out really well for us, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
the homemade.
Yeah. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper. It's easier. I ran out, which is amazing. Aaron couldn't believe I actually ran out of taco seasoning. It's hard to believe I ran out of taco seasoning. If you all saw my spices, you would understand that. Now, the last thing we have to do is we have to add some more water to this because it's rice. That's the base of this dish, is rice. So we're going to bulk it up. But you can tell it's got a lot of meat in it. So it's going to be very filling. It's going to be very protein based. And I'm going to start with 4 cups. We just got to make sure. And that should be plenty. Because we had the 2 cups from the turkey broth plus the grease, or the liquid that was, not the grease, the liquid that was in with the actual sausage itself. All of that's good nutrients from the food that we had canned and already had. So instead of wasting it and just throwing it down the drain, we're going to use that and get all that good flavor into this rice. It's just another way to add extra flavor, extra nutrients. And it's going to amp up the flavor of our food. And that is why our leftovers are so much better. Because I focus on flavor. I'm a flavor person. So what I will do is I will pop this on rice setting. And it will cook on the rice setting on pressure cooker. And whenever it cooks on rice, it'll cook for, it's jasmine rice, so it'll cook for probably about 15 minutes and then it'll be done. I'll let it come down naturally on its cool down. I'll unplug it once it's finished. It will cook for 15 minutes and that will be finished, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's done. We'll top it with a little bit of shredded cheese that we have on hand. Now, let me set some things over. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to make for Aaron for lunch. So lunch for me is going to be canned soup because I have a lot of canned soup we need to eat. Lunch for Aaron also is going to be canned soup. But first we need to use up some barbecue sauce. Because we have some homemade barbecue sauce that we made for not for Thanksgiving. I hope that's a long time.
Yeah, for Christmas.
It was for Christmas, but it's still good. It's still good. It's fine. But we need to use this up before it does go bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to make Aaron's baked bean, because when I looked at him, I said, it's basically almost everything you put in your baked bean recipe minus one ingredient, which is mustard. And he's like, well, yeah. And that way we can not waste this good barbecue sauce. So all we do is we have 2 cans of beans here. I have another one in case it's too much barbecue sauce. I don't think it will be. Aaron's a little bit worried. He thinks it might be. I don't think it will be. I know Aaron.
And this barbecue sauce was ketchup, vinegar, molasses, sugar, some cinnamon, some hot sauce.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
It's a very basic recipe, but we use it all the time. Is that enough mustard?
Yeah. So these are the type of beans everybody, there's nothing to them that usually ask for any type of family event.
My dad asked Aaron to make these beans, for everything.
I mean, there's nothing to it. Usually the only difference is instead of putting in the barbecue sauce, I'd use ketchup.
Ketchup and brown.
Brown sugar.
Which we stopped using brown sugar.
Because brown sugar, all it is
molasses.
Sugar and molasses, yeah.
And I'm going to give him this spoon, and then we're going to put it in here to be washed so he can try it. But it looks right on the color. And he's going to tell me if I need another jar of beans or if I need anything else, because these are what he's going to be eating for lunch. So this is for him.
I believe so, after
Need
we
more
warm
beans?
it up.
It's good?
Yeah.
It's good?
Yes,
Good.
I believe so.
Okay, they'll go in the oven on 350.
It's a little sweeter than normal, but I think it's good.
It's good. All right, I'm going to get these in the oven on 350. We'll show you what they look like after they're done. We always do a test just to make sure we're good to go on the front end, because we don't want to mess anything up and we want to show you real life. This is actually how we test these kinds of things out. Now, for dinner, I am adding one thing to my meal plan I had planned on, and that is sweet potatoes. These are actually from our garden. We had a really decent crop of sweet potatoes this year. I've canned some, but I still had a few, so I went ahead and washed these and prepped these, and all I'm going to do is drizzle them with some olive oil, and I'm going to put a little salt as well. And while my oven is going, these can be cooking, and when we have our rice and beans, we can have a sweet potato too. So why not? And all we do with sweet potatoes is we eat them plain. We really do. We eat them.
Yeah, usually with these, I don't like anything else on them. I'm not the one who fixes, fix up the sweet potatoes. Some people put brown sugar, other things, but to me, they're just perfectly fine. Just
he
like
didn't
that.
like them. He's like, I don't like sweet potatoes when he first got me.
I did, because everybody always
I said,
put everything in them.
you're going to have to learn to like sweet potatoes. I was like, you're going to have to learn to like a sweet potato, because I love sweet potatoes. They're one of my favorite foods. And he's like, I said, I will make them to where you will like them. We'll try it. So now let's get to breakfast. Breakfast now, we got to fix this. I got to fix this stuff. It's awful. It's awful. I got to fix this mess. This muffin mix. I talked about it, and this nice lady said, try adding oil or fat, something else to it. And that's one of the things we're going to do. Now, there is a rule in my house. Aaron will eat anything, just about anything I put in front of him, as long as it's not dry. It could be burnt. As a matter of fact, if a pancake is burnt, It goes on Aaron's plate, not my plate. If the bacon is burnt, it goes on Aaron's plate, not my plate.
Okay. Comments below. Do you prefer your bacon crispy or not crispy? Because I'm a crispy one. Julia's a non-crispy one.
I don't like crispy bacon.
Crispy bacon. Down in the comments.
Most
Make sure to
people
hit
like their bacon crispy, and I just don't care for it. I don't like it crispy. So this is such dry. It's so dry. It's so hard to eat. So we've got to fix it, and I got to get rid of it. So we're making these muffins, and I'm making them 2 ways. I'm going to make a blueberry muffin-ish thing for Aaron. If he has to eat it with a spoon, he has to eat it with a spoon. That's kind of where we are right now, which is fine as long as it's not dry. And I'm going to make a pumpkin chocolate chip one for Isabel and I. And Isabel can try the blueberry one as well. She can eat whatever she wants, but she is a pumpkin girl, so we will probably eat the pumpkin.
She probably won't touch the blueberry.
She probably won't touch blueberry. So I have 4 eggs in each of these bowls. We started there because we're doubling this recipe. So I need to do, I'm going to do it this way. I need to do 4 cups of powder. I'm going to be very careful because I just foresee me making a mess. This isn't going to work. I just foresee me making a mess. They're just putting this powder in here. I'm probably gonna use it up now. That's actually what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna throw it all in there.
So it's going to be gone one way or the other.
It's gone. It is gone. We are officially done with this stuff. Okay. I am going to put in 1/4 of a cup of oil into each of these, and we use olive oil in our house. Now, this is another thing I have a lot of trouble with. If you are new to cooking, or if you are an old hand at cooking, you might yell at me for this. It does not matter what type of oil you use for cooking, for most recipes. I use olive oil for the majority of my cooking. I will tell you, I don't do coconut oil because it does harden up and it does change the taste. And it changes it pretty bad.
Yeah.
It changes.
I notice it.
Aaron notices it. And he can tell the difference, so he doesn't tend to like it as much as if I were to not use coconut oil. But if I use olive oil, because we've replaced canola oil and all of that, he can definitely tell that I've stopped using those in our recipes. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I wish I could see my little one here. Oh, there it is. I need another one.
Show people what you're talking about.
It's my little can opener. I don't know where it came from. It is Gunther. I don't know. It came from somewhere. Aaron had it, but it's my teeny tiny little thing and it works for me. I'm going to pour this whole thing of blueberries into Aaron's. It should make it very moist because last time I did it, I did a small one and it did not do it. So I did a pint jar. So we're going to do a whole jar. We are going to hope and pray that this does the trick for Aaron, because this might be a mess. This is, we have no idea yet. We're just trying to get rid of this stuff and we got rid of it. It will work or it won't work, and that's okay. I need to add some vanilla, and this is not imitation vanilla. This is just the bottle we washed.
It's a good bottle.
It's a good bottle, and this is vanilla that we did ourselves.
Yeah, if you haven't seen those videos, you can go back and check those out on how we do homemade vanilla.
We make lots of homemade vanilla.
Yes.
Now I won't add any liquid to Aaron's because all that blueberry had a lot of liquid in it. You can go ahead and see. It's really pretty. And I like to use a fork to mix mine. And I'm going to cook this on 350 degrees until it's fully cooked, fully incorporated, and it comes out clean. And we're just going to cross our fingers and hope and pray that this turns out better than it has in the past. I have a can of evaporated milk. I was a little bit worried if I needed to, but it looks like it's going to be, it looks quite a bit moister than it has in the past. Does anybody else hoard their evaporated milk? I have it and I buy it, but I hoard it because it's like it's one of those emergency foods. It's kind of like my Pop-Tarts. I know Pop-Tarts are bad for you. They're so bad for you. I know that, but a Pop-Tart is a great emergency food to have on hand because it's a single thing just to have. You can grab it, you can go. You don't need anything. You don't have to heat it up, nothing. You can just eat it and go. Okay, that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better.
Looks like something I like.
It looks like something you would eat. It does. Finally, it looks like something you would eat. Now, this is pumpkin. I've got 2 jars here, and I'm hesitant to do both of these jars of liquid. So I'm going to pour one of these jars of liquid out carefully. Carefully. My hands are clean. Before y'all yell at me, my hands are clean.
It's just us eating anyway.
Well, no. My hands are clean. That's more important. I don't want to kill my family. He's so silly sometimes. Okay, get that pumpkin in there. Another fork. And this is super soft. It was home canned pumpkin. And this one's not going to require any more liquid either. And then I'm also going to throw a smidget of salt. I always add a little extra of my Redmond salt to my baking, simply because it doesn't hurt. And I feel like it does add a little bit extra. That Redmond salt, if you haven't tried it, there is a difference. I don't care what anybody says.
It's hard to go back.
You can't. I've heard people say, oh, there's no difference in salt. There is a difference in salt. Redmond's is just, there's something else. Yeah, I'm glad I took that out. That would have been too much liquid. But I can tell you, it's 100% better. She's going to go crazy for this, isn't she?
More than likely.
Huh?
More than likely.
And then I have a small bag here of chocolate chips. I'm going to add to this one. The teeny little bag.
These are not what we usually get. This is something we got for
another video, and I needed to use them up.
Yeah, that we never got to.
I'm going to leave just a few to put on top because they always sink. So you want to make sure you have just a few to go on top. Look at the color. They're pretty.
Normally, lately, most of our chocolate chips do come from Azure. Or extremely good sales.
Extremely good sales. Okay. That is breakfast. So that is everything. Now I just have to get it all in the oven and cooking. So I'm going to get these in the oven at 350, the sweet potatoes and the beans. You notice I've got a lot to go in the oven. Then I have my Instant Pot. When I use the oven, I maximize it because it's more energy effective. So that's my focus. Whenever I turn the oven on, I want to make sure I use it to its fullest advantage. So I'm going to get everything in the oven. Whenever these come out, I'm guessing they're probably going to take probably about 45 minutes to cook. Everything else will come out about the same amount of time. When everything comes out, we will kind of bring it all back, show you all what it looks like, and let you all know what it tastes like. All right, so everything is just about cooked, and Aaron's going to do a small taste test here. I added some pickled peppers. That's what his muffin looks like.
Okay.
His beans.
Start out with the beans. Tastes like barbecue baked beans. A lot better after it
After it cooked.
cooks some.
Would you want them like it again?
If we have it left over, yes.
If we have it left over, go ahead and use it up.
He's
very picky.
Well,
he's so picky.
The other one, I'm used to that recipe. I've had it for so many years. Had it when I was growing up. I'm just more used to it, but it's good. And then jar of pickled peppers, every type and any type that we have left over right before
Those were jalapeno. No, there's no cayennes in there. There's our jalapeno and bananas.
And these were all ones right before
Right
we
before
lost
the
them
frost.
All. Yep. So big old jar. Okay. So I always put them on top of mine.
He does, and there's no cheese on his. I just did peppers on his. How does it taste with the canned sausage?
Good.
Is it good? That cute. That can't tell.
I can't tell it now.
Can't tell it now.
Not at all. Only thing it needs a little hot sauce.
I know.
But very good.
Very good.
And I always like peppers on this dish of mine, pickled ones.
If it doesn't have it, it's not right.
Right. I can't tell it all now. But the sausage patties. That's good.
That's good. Go ahead and use that up.
Yep. Okay.
I'm scared.
My muffin.
Whatever it is.
Well, my blueberry definitely overpowers.
Is it more like a blueberry cake? Like a blueberry custardy thingy?
It's closer to a blueberry cake than I think it would a muffin.
Okay. But it'll work.
But it works.
You can eat it.
I can eat that.
Not dry.
Not dry at all with all the
Good.
blueberry in there.
Good.
So. And yours is still
Mine's still in the oven.
going. Should be done soon. But you'll see it in the picture for this video if you want to see what it looks like. And if something goes wrong with it, we'll put that down in the notes for the
Yeah,
video.
we'll we can do short.
Yeah, we'll do a short or something on it. So.
You all have to try this Mexican rice. I make it so often.
It's so easy, so good.
It's so easy. You can see
Like
it.
I'm going to eat all
there's
this.
space at the bottom.
Like I ain't going to let it go to waste.
And if you have canned sausage patties that you're trying to use up, this is a great way to do it.
You can definitely get rid of them.
This is probably one of the few that I put the most meat in.
I was going to say you put more meat in this one than we usually ever put in any other.
I don't usually use this much meat in it, but I packed this one pretty heavy, trying to get rid of these sausage patties.
This is good.
It's good.
But any comments, questions, anything you want to see coming up, leave that down below. Make sure to go and check out a link tree with all our other content.
As always, thank you for joining us on the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, enjoy life, and Aaron eats. Have a great day.